This is not working. Oh gosh. How come everything works when you want it? Oh, jeepers. Okay. Whoop. Well, technology. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's so many parts, so many things. All right. Well, I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna start. See what kind of trouble I can cause today.
Not trouble, it's inspiration.
Okay, excellent. I wonder if I want that zoomed in more. Let's see here. Let me see if I do this. Oh, that's pretty good. So glary. Interesting. Okay. I suppose. Not sure if Ann Woodtrack was joining me today or not to watch it on Facebook, but if not, that's okay. Can barely have energy. My craft room is a mess, as you can see.
It's called progress.
Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to start because I'm already live on Facebook, so that's always awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Leanne Furness from Rochester, Minnesota, an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. And on Saturday, we had our annual, which we didn't get to do last year, garage sale of retired Stampin' Up products. Thank you for all of you who came out. We had our best year ever. Sold over a little bit over $5,000, so that's very exciting. I hope you're all having fun with your new treasures. And we look forward to doing it next year. We also look forward to doing a couple more fun things in that venue. So stay tuned and we'll see what we can wrap up. We got a couple ideas already on how to make that space work better. And I think it was a good space, and I think we're going to be very excited. Today, we're going to talk about VIP. What's that? The very important product in your catalog? It's the stamps. If we Stampin' Up wouldn't have started without the CEO, the co-founder, and her sister wanting some artwork that was unique and that they could create, but they couldn't draw. So they created these they found rubber stamps, and they were like, well, that's fun. And they were home with kids, and they just wanted an outlet to meet other people and connect, sound familiar. And they just loved the crafting experience. So stamps started the whole thing. Now we have so many products in there, it's crazy. But I wanted to go first to the catalog, and then I'm going to show you some tips, tricks, and things about the different kinds of stamps that we have. It's kind of crazy how far we've come when you look at some of those, excuse me, those older catalogs. It is interesting to see how far we came. We used to carry other people's stamp sets, which is amazing to me. All right, our annual catalog from May 21 to April 22. It seems crazy to me. I'm going to go right to page 4. And I want to talk about these little icons. I probably have already talked about them a little bit, but they help you find new product, which is pretty, standard. This little guy is a reversible, and whatever that means, right? I'm going to show you. It's kind of cool. Get twice as much work out of your stamp. And then distinctive. And distinctive tries to give you that layered color look without having to do that. And then I noticed that they didn't have two-step in here, which is a lot of our distinctive stamps. So I think two-step is kind of now something we think you know about, but I'm going to talk about it. We're going to start first with reversibles, specialized photopolymer stamps with images on both sides. So if you went to page, if you went to page 16 in the annual catalog, there are 2 reversible stamp sets, and I'm not sure that there are other ones. I don't think so at this moment, but it's kind of hard to know what that really means when you look at this. So what it's saying is that, I'm going to show you exactly what it's saying. It says, it's going to show you that the stamp set comes with, hopefully you can see this, it's going to be kind of dirty. So you got one side that has the mountain range details, and then you got one side that has the mountain range background. And so you don't need 2 different stamps to make that happen. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Quick and easy. So I'm going to take the detailed range edge, and I'm going to put that on the block like this. So now I'm going to stamp, and I'm just going to get this outline, and I'll show you what I mean. And I'm going to stamp off because I want it to be a little lighter than my details. Ooh, that's a juicy pad. Ooh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that off. And so you can see that's not really impressive. But I'm going to go ahead and make my mountain range, and then I'm not going to ink up that whole thing because I'm only going to do part. All right, here's where it gets messy. Now I'm going to clean this because I want to use the other side. So using the other side, flipping it over, hence the reversible, I'm going to go ahead and ink this guy up in the same color, smoky slate, only not stamp off, and then line this up, which is a little bit more difficult when you're not looking straight up and down. But now you can see where you get that image, the detail of the mountain range now. But wait, there's more. So now I'm going to take the shaded spruce ink pad, and I'm going to do the same thing with my tree line. So I have, the tree line has details, and it has just the plain. I'm going to put the detail part on my block so you can see the details through that, which is kind of weird. And I don't know if someone did this accidentally, because I think we've all taken a stamp and stamped the wrong side on these photopolymers. Well, we don't want it gray, do we? We want it green. Oh my gosh. It is Monday morning after an exhausting weekend, let me tell you. What was I thinking when I scheduled this? I wasn't, clearly. All right, so it takes a lot of ink on the pad, on the block. Oh, it's bright. So I'm going to stamp off again, and then just do my tree line. And then I'm going to clean that because I don't want to be getting ink everywhere. Flip it around and ink up the detailed side. Now, this stamp set, I was just kind of glossing over it and not really liking it. And then I decided I loved it. So then you get that whole look. When you finish, you have a card. I didn't do the background part there, but you have this beautiful man card because we all need some masculine type cards, right? The other fun thing you can do with this stamp set, let me clean that off, is, oh my gosh, in the stamp set, there's some dies that go with it. You can cut out your mountain range. I haven't really played with this that much because, again, I thought I didn't really get it. And then I was like, oh, I'm ordering it. I'm going to need it. This cuts out your tree line. You got your cloud. So even your cloud is a reversible. So you can take your cloud, and I'm going to grab a different block because that one's too big. Use the detailed side. You know, I'm going to take my gray and do a cloud just slightly, and then flip it around. And so really this is two-step stamping is what we would call this. It's 2 steps, right? Which just seems, but in kind of prior, you had 2 different stamps you use. So this way you just get messier, but you do get to use both sides of your stamp. The evergreen tree, same spiel. You're going to take and give it, I'm going to do 2 because it's such a bright color. a tree like that, clean it. And then think about the forest you could make, right? Northern forest, Boundary Waters area, not with the mountains, of course, but Colorado area. You can kind of stamp this and get all kinds of fun images and then cut them out. All right, so that's reversible. And that is the card I showed you that disappeared. This card is on my buffet this month. I'm sending out an email again tomorrow or today, and then I stamp that on the inside. It's just adds something. I thought it was really cool, and you'll be able to see it on Friday at my open house. And maybe you'll be even using the stamp set to make your make and take. Because why would I know that already? That's Friday. Jeepers, we got plenty of time. All right, I wanted to show you one more project with that stamp set. I made this. It's a scrapbook pop-up, but this is that beautiful tree die. Hopefully you can see that. And then I stamped the mountain range in different colors, Night of Navy, and then I think balmy blue. And then the trees, I just kind of did a whole random thing. So you can get a lot of bang and a lot of, I don't know, masculine-ish, outdoors-ish kind of stamps, art, images, and cards. So that's reversible as well as two-step. The next one I wanted to talk about was the distinctive. Distinctive is meant to create different color variations in one stamp, so you don't have to, again, do two steps all the time, but a lot of them are two steps. So this one on page 13 is Art Gallery. And I have a couple samples for that. It was in our annual, or it was in our mini catalog, and it made it to the new catalog. So that's exciting. You can see where it's two steps, but yet it's not a solid image. And so that's what makes it distinctive. You can see here, the leaf has a little bit of variant color in it. Same thing with that. One of the stamp sets, which I know a lot of people have been waiting for, this darn Strawberry Punch, to order that bundle. And it's not going to be a bundle, probably. Oh, yeah, it will be a bundle because this is in the mini catalog, which is available until the end of June. And they said it was going to be orderable towards the end of May. So that will be exciting, and they'll probably sell out of that. I don't know why it's so popular, but that punch that goes with it is super fun. So that's another distinctive ink, because you can see how it's just one stamp. You don't have to do anything to create that watercolor look. You just stamp it once, which is awesome. Sometimes though, when you have these kind of images, if you have a really juicy pad, like I'm going to grab that gray pad again, because that was a super juicy pad, sticky, or shaded spruce. We'll do shaded spruce. Both of them are pretty dark and sticky. What happens sometimes with these distinctive stamps is that you stamp and you don't really get a great distinctive look. And I'll show you what I mean. Grab another piece of paper, move this out of my way. So I'm just going to use the large tulip, and I'm going to try to make this work. It probably won't, because nothing ever works on camera. So that is kind of gross looking and goobery, and it's not, I guess it's okay. But you can see that sometimes, let's try here. If your ink pad's too full and too juicy and you're not getting that distinctive look, what you can do is take a bone folder or some other kind of device you might have and kind of scrape some of that ink off your pad so that's not quite so juicy. And then when you ink it up in that area, it'll be a better distinctive image. See how different that is? And so I didn't do it great, but you can kind of see how you can lose the juicier pads, you can lose some of that distinctive look. So if it's not working for you, it's not the stamp's fault, it's the ink pad's fault. Same would go if your ink pad's not inked enough, you might not have a great image. That's when you order those re-inkers, people. They're $3.75, and then you can I'm going to do a whole month of what you can do with those reinkers because they are super cool and you can do lots of fun things. And a lot of people think, oh, I don't need those reinkers, but yeah, you do. You do because you can do fun things. Here's another example. This is on page 87 of the annual catalog of a two-step that is not distinctive. So you've got this image in here is stamped. So you stamp the margarita glass first, and then you stamp that part inside lining it up, and it's photopolymer, so it makes it really easy to do. You can also choose just a color without ice cubes. This one I colored as well. And I think this one was colored too. So you can, two-step gives you options. And again, there's some solid two-steps and some solid distinctive. And those are all photopolymer. Photopolymer means you see through them, well, in theory, at the beginning. So this is a little stained, but you can see through it versus our cling stamps, which is what this guy is. The traditional rubber cling. Now, why they don't make these, all the ones we have in photopolymer, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a reason. I just didn't research that because I was busy counting the money and spreading out the fun. But what I wanted to show you with this one, the photopolymer is great for layering and doing fun things. This one's pretty fun too. And you might see this at the open house. This is our spiral stamp, background stamp. So it's huge. And I could put this on a block. I have a huge block, but I don't really want to because that's a lot of fuggamalongy, whatever that word means. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to create a background. And so I'm going to take a sheet that's about 7 inches long. And these magnets are so strong and my hands are so tired. All right. And I'm going to line this up like that in the corners so that I know it's straight. And then that's where I'm going to stamp. Now, I'm going to put my stamp right on top of that to see how to line it up. Otherwise, I won't know where the paper should go when I close my Stamparatus top and pull it up. Now, here comes the fun part. I'm going to make kind of a Viking-ish color thing, which, I'm a Packer fan, so this is kind of tough for me. Always have been a Packer fan. We're a mixed marriage. So this one is a little interesting in its stamping because it doesn't give you, it's not a solid image. You can see where some of it is a little bit lighter, and that's okay. And plus, it's super forgiving. Whoa. So I'm just giving this a good push. Now, some people I know have arthritis, and doing this helps a little bit. I'm going to get a couple dry erase markers of some sort to rub that on there so that those of us who are getting arthritis in our body can have a success with our stamping and our Stamparatus. All right, so now I'm going to clean off that gorgeous grape. Whew. Clean it up. Not move the stamp, but I'm going to move the paper just because this stamp in particular, if you flip your paper 180 degrees, which is whoop, like that. So remember where I had this lined up. I'm going to take it, I'm going to line it up right in the same spot and put my magnets back down, the very strong magnets, and I'm going to ink up this with Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to stamp. And it's meant so that when you turn it 180 degrees, it gives you this tie-dye look, which I think is awesome for teenagers, for I mean, just so many things you could do. And so this isn't a sample that I got in my recent swap from somebody. Oh, from Amanda Van Havermet. And I just love that. So I think this is really cool. It's fun. It could be a great birthday, any kind of celebration. That's about all I got today. So the stamp sets are just very awesome. I don't even know what else to say. So just remember that And in each catalog, it will tell you there's other things about the stamp set like this, $100,000 or $1 million. That means that the $1 million achiever, Jennifer Cotton, worked with the designers to create that. So that's a perk of being a $1 million salesperson. I don't know that I'll live that long, but we'll see. So that's kind of what that means. The other things are cling is again the traditional red rubber, and photopolymer is the clear type. Again, here's another one, Karen Titus, who lives up in the Minneapolis area. She created this with the designers. So, and you will see that it'll say distinctive. Of course, now I'm not going to find one. Oh, here, distinctive. And so you can kind of see this one is really, I watched a video from Stampin' Up, and this one, at first I was like, okay, I'm getting this, just so you know, because it looks great. And then check this die out. We'll talk about that too, but the layering diorama dies. Oh, I could see some fun stuff. And so that's it. Now, there is going to be a quiz. There's a survey, and you enter a chance to win 25% off one single stamp set. So that's pretty exciting from me, and redeemable only to me, of course. But I will post that up, and I've changed my mind. At first, when I started, that you had 24 hours, but because I needed to switch these to noon, I'm going to do 48 hours, and I will address that in my email as well, because I have some things to do this week in the evening. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Sue, for watching live with me, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 6:30. So Tuesday is at 6:30 p.m. Tuesday the 18th. The 19th will be again at noon, because that's Wednesday. Thursday will begin again at noon. And then Friday is the open house from 2 to 6, and you sign up for specific times. And if that confuses you, welcome to my world, but just give me a quick email and I'll try to answer anything, or check out creatively at creatively.stampinup.net, and then you'll be able to see the events. Thanks for joining. Bye.